about you guys, but ever since I was a little kid, I've always been very curious about dreams, and I wanted to know why we have them and where they came from. At one point, I even used to consider studying it as a career. Kind of end up falling in through a hole, but that's okay. The first dream that really caught me on was probably when I was like in early middle school. This was the first dream that was super vivid. Very close to a lucid dream, but not quite. In the dream, I was basically playing in an empty version of my elementary school playground, and there was only me and one other kid there, someone I'd never seen before, but we were playing for like what felt like hours in this playground, and I started to feel like something was kind of like sucking me into another world, and I didn't want to leave because I wasn't really popular. I didn't have a lot of friends when I was younger. I remember hearing noises mid-dream as well, from somewhere, like kind of maybe echoey, and I remember feeling my body being in a bed. So like it was super weird. I was like in the dream with the kid playing in the playground, but I could also feel myself still like laying down sleeping, kind of like two things happening at once. I ended up waking up and realized that my TV was the echo noises that was kind of keeping me up. So I went to go turn it off and tried my best to go back to sleep. Another dream appeared. Same place, same random kid. I was super happy though to see a familiar face. We proceeded to play again for what felt like hours, very long time. When I felt my body do the same thing once again, I could feel myself laying in bed while I was playing in the playground. I started to slowly wake up again. This time I was a little bit more angry, and I tried my best to kind of go back to sleep, kind of tossing and turning throughout the night. Yet again, I had the same dreams. This is like for the third time. The same dream, same place, same kid. But the difference was this time he actually said, "I waited for you." I always thought that was super interesting because he hadn't spoken a word when the entire time of us playing. We played again for what seemed like a really long time. After a while, in the middle of us playing, he kind of stopped in his tracks, turned around to look at me in my face and said, "I have to go now." I didn't understand what that meant at the time, but I started to feel my body starting to wake up again, and I woke up in bed very, very upset because I didn't want that dream to end. It was so nice. I tried my best to go back to sleep, and I eventually did go back to sleep, but never again did I dream of that same kid or that same playground. It's been years now since I've had that dream, and I've had plenty of ideas and theories as to what it could mean. I know not a lot of people probably think dreams mean something. Personally, around maybe when I was in high school, I had found this website, and it was called Dream Moods. It was built sort of like a dictionary, so you could look up what action you were doing in the dream, and you could like find out what it means. And they have like it's super huge. It's like A through Z. The main thing that this website is always claiming is that you kind of have to decode your dreams. It's kind of like they're speaking another language, and it's up to you to kind of decide and see what means to you. I used to not believe in this website at all. I thought it was interesting and intriguing, but I didn't kind of believe like right away. And I'd never used it. When I first found it out, I was just really, really curious. It definitely drew me in. What made me interested is when I was in high school, I found this website. I used to existing in the dream world as a zombie. So since I knew about this website, I was like, dude, I'm so curious as to what this means now. So I looked it up, and I told him, I looked it up, and I saw that it meant something pretty profound and like a little deep, and it basically said to dream that you're a zombie means a part of you feels dead or numb. And I remember telling my friend, and they said that this was like pretty accurate, because, I'm not going to go into personal details, but they were going through a lot during high school years, and they had said consistently that they have troubles crying. They have trouble crying and being in touch with their emotions, so they kind of like walk around existing in their life feeling ultimately numb. And that's almost what sold me pretty much. When I found that out, I was like, this is kind of crazy, and I'm already sort of noticing a pattern. When I looked up this my friend's dream, I noticed that it seems like your dreams are almost metaphorical, or sometimes even puns. So like, he's numb in real life, so he continuously keeps having dreams about being a zombie, and zombies are like dead. So you see like the pun there. That's really, really funny, actually. Another pattern that I also remember noticing is that it doesn't always predict the future. In fact, it almost never predicts the future. It's more of what's happening currently in the moment that maybe you have not yet realized yet, but maybe your subconscious has noticed, and it's trying to get you to notice by like sending you messages in your dreams, or like some part of you knows, so you consistently are dreaming of it. I'll give you an example. A good example is if you dream of spiders, it could mean something in your wakening life is making you afraid, because spiders often represent like a fear, like people fear spiders. But they have long lists of certain, like some words or actions have like way longer lists of what it could mean. So it's ultimately up to you to decide whether or not it's true or not. So I'm not saying like if you dream of this, it definitely means this. It's almost like it's a possibility. It's a strong possibility that it means this, and ultimately only you can decide, because you know yourself best, right? There's been times where I've looked up words where I was really curious as to what they meant, and it felt really unrelated into my life whatsoever. So it's really a hit or pure concrete.